All right, so you've got this thriller, Cold Storage, on your shelf, right? And you're thinking, is it worth my time?
Well, you've come to the right place because we're going to dive right in.
Perfect. Let's get to it.
Oh.
So we've read it.
Oh, yeah, we've read it.
And let me tell you, this book is a wild, wild ride.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got everything. Mystery, suspense, conspiracies, and characters that'll keep you guessing. I mean, right up until the very end.
Okay, so imagine this. An abandoned missile site, top secret cryonics project, and a race against time. I mean, how's that for a start?
And the opening scene, oh man, they throw you right into the action. Two guys approach this secluded cabin.
Oh, yeah.
And one of them is like super nervous.
Yeah.
Sets the tone right. You just know something's about to go down.
Right, and inside, there's Nora Lagner. She claims to have this secret that could protect them.
Ah, yes, Nora.
But what is it, and why is it so valuable? I mean, they don't waste any time with the mystery.
That's for sure. And then there's the machine hidden in that missile site. What can this thing do? Well, let's just say it could reshape the world.
Oh, wow.
And everybody wants it.
Uh-oh. Okay, so we've got that going on, and then there's Rachel, this scientist.
Yeah.
Haunted by, like, a cryogenic experiment gone wrong.
Rachel.
She wants to redeem herself,
Yeah.
but her actions could have some serious unintended consequences.
Yeah. What I liked about her, she's not like your typical hero.
Right.
Flawed, makes mistakes.
Yeah.
But brilliant. Determined.
Yes, you totally root for her.
Yeah. Even when you're like, girl, what are you doing?
Are you sure about this?
Exactly.
So she's trying to revive Reiff. He's the patient she froze years ago.
Reiff.
But she's also terrified of what might happen if she succeeds. I mean, is she a hero or is she playing God?
And Reiff, what a journey.
Yeah.
Waking up in a completely changed world. Everyone you knew is gone. And then he's got these strange visions.
Well, the visions.
Can't explain them.
Like he's a stranger in his own life.
And then you've got this Douglas Kincaid. Powerful, ruthless, and he is hunting Reiff.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, he's a character you don't forget. Driven, ambitious, he'll stop at nothing.
The dynamic between those two, oh, it's electric.
Yeah.
You got this vulnerable guy trying to figure out a world he doesn't recognize, and then this force of nature, Kincaid, who just sees him as a means to an end.
It's intense.
Yeah.
So much going on. And then we get the Nine.
The Nine.
This shadowy organization, they're working in the background, pulling strings. Who are the real players here? I mean, it makes you wonder, what are their goals?
The author, he weaves all these threads together, creating this web of intrigue, and you are guessing until the very end.
Yeah, you are. Who's on whose side? What are their motivations? It keeps you guessing the whole time.
Absolutely.
And just when you think you've got it, boom.
Another curveball.
There's the network, this group, they're working against the government. Are they good? Are they bad? I mean, who do you trust?
It's hard to tell.
It is. One of the things that I think is so cool about the book is it really makes you think about cryonics. What happens when we push the boundaries of science too far? What are the consequences?
Right. And then you've got, what does it even mean to bring someone back to life?
Right.
In a world that's completely different, cold storage doesn't shy away from the tough questions.
No, it doesn't. And then there's Rachel's research with mice and a capuchin monkey.
The monkey.
They start having these weird side effects.
After being frozen and revived, makes you wonder about the long-term impacts.
Yeah. What are we missing? What haven't we even considered?
Exactly. It's unsettling.
Yeah.
What's going to happen next?
What other secrets are hiding just beneath the surface?
And then, bam, a frozen astronaut.
Oh, wow.
Inside an ancient spacecraft. Changes everything.
It does.
The story, it just explodes. It's bigger than we thought.
It's like peeling back the layers of an onion. And each revelation is more shocking. And then you start to question everything you thought you knew about the Great Collapse, wars, or was it something else, something more sinister?
Oh, yeah, the conspiracy element.
Yeah.
So good. The author makes you doubt everything. Is there a hidden truth? What really happened? Classic thriller stuff, but done really, really well.
And then you've got the Foundation.
The Foundation.
They're controlling resources, shaping events. They're like these puppet masters working from the shadows.
It adds that whole other level of complexity.
Yeah.
Good. Bad. Are they helping or are they using all the chaos? It just keeps you guessing.
It's so good. Okay, so one of the most pivotal moments, I think, is when Rachel discovers this information hidden in the astronaut's DNA.
Oh, yeah. That's a game changer.
It is. Shifts the balance of power. reveals this whole new layer of the conspiracy.
And that's when things really start to move. Stakes are higher, danger intensifies, and you are hooked.
And then we see Kincaid's compound. This place, it's like something out of a James Bond movie.
I know. Hidden levels, crazy power systems. You get this feeling that something's not right.
Oh.
Kincaid's hiding more than just secrets. He's hiding something dangerous.
Oh, man. So we've only scratched the surface here, but trust me, cold storage is a page-turner. Keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole time.
The whole time. If you're looking for a thriller that makes you think, a story that keeps you guessing, characters you'll remember, Cold Storage is it.
But we've only just begun.
We've only just begun. So much more to uncover, so many twists and turns.
Oh, many.
Join us next time as we go deeper into the mysteries of cold storage.
You don't want to miss it.
You know, one thing that struck me about cold storage is how it shows this cutting-edge science, cryonics, next to this world that's, like, struggling to recover.
Yeah, it's not just about the tech, right? It's about people adapting, rebuilding after this whole great collapse.
Exactly. And there are these little glimmers of, like, hope, like Nick Bailey's garden at his ranch, all sustainable, you know?
Wow.
Even with everything going on, people find a way to survive, to come up with new ideas.
Oh, I loved that garden detail.
Yeah.
It's like a symbol of, hope in the middle of all this chaos.
Totally. Life goes on, even when the world's completely different. And speaking of Nick Bailey, he's such a great addition to the story. This self-sufficient guy living off the grid like some modern-day Thoreau.
I know, right? He's got this quiet strength
Mm-hmm.
and this connection to nature.
Yeah.
Like he's seen it all.
Yeah.
Nothing phases him.
And yet, he gets pulled into everything when Rachel and Rafe show up, needing his help. Remember, they're running from Kincaid, and he's not giving up.
Oh, man, when Kincaid's team gets close to the ranch, it's intense. The danger's right there. You're like, are they going to make it?
This is where the author's, thriller skills really come through. The action is so good, so real, you feel like you're right there with them.
And then Rafe, he makes this huge sacrifice to save Rachel. It's such a turning point for them, and you see how much he's willing to risk for her.
Such a powerful moment. It shows how much depth Rafe has. He's not just lost and confused. He's brave, selfless.
And to protect everyone else, Rachel surrenders to Kincaid. Risky move, walking right into the lion's den.
She's hoping to make a deal, but Kincaid, he's got other plans. Takes her to his compound, this underground fortress, like its own little world.
Talk about a contrast, right?
Yeah.
It shows just how much power and wealth Kincaid really has.
Right. Even in this post-collapse world, some people are still in control.
And it's there, in the compound, that Rachel sees what Kincaid's really up to. The frozen astronaut, the spacecraft, the secrets they hold.
And this is where it goes full-on sci-fi. Genetic manipulation, alien tech, time travel, it's mind-blowing. But somehow it still works.
Right. It's like, wait, this wasn't just a thriller,
Mm.
but it makes it even more exciting.
And you've got all these questions, right? Where'd the spacecraft come from? What's it doing here? How does it connect to Rafe and this whole cryogenic thing?
It makes you question everything. The past, the future, it's all up in the air.
And then there's the ethical side of it all. Kincaid's obsessed with living forever, using the alien tech to become immortal.
Yeah, classic sci-fi, right? The quest for eternal life.
Oh,
But with Kincaid, it's scary.
definitely. He doesn't just want to live longer. He wants to control time itself.
And Rachel sees the danger in that. She knows this tech could be good or bad, and she doesn't want it in the wrong hands.
And now the stakes are even higher. It's not just about Rafe and Rachel surviving anymore. It's about the fate of everyone.
Exactly. But then, just when Kincaid seems unstoppable, Rafe escapes. And Nora Lagner helps him.
Oh, that escape scene, so good. They're in the dark, dodging security, outsmarting Kincaid's people. You're rooting for them the whole time.
And just when you think they're safe, bam, the Chinese military shows up. They want the spacecraft.
It's like a powder keg ready to blow. Everyone wants this tech, and it could start another collapse.
But through it all, Rafe and Rachel, they get closer. They're both fighting for something bigger than themselves, for everyone's future.
It's inspiring, you know? No matter what happens, people can be resilient. They can stand up for what's right.
We've covered so much, but there are still so many mysteries and conspiracies in cold storage.
We're just getting started. There's still so much to talk about in the final part of our deep dive, the ending, the questions it raises. It's all coming up.
Oh yeah, buckle up for part 3 because we're going even deeper into cold storage. Okay, so we've got this ancient spacecraft, right? A frozen astronaut from the future, and everyone's trying to stop this global catastrophe. Where do we even start with part 3 of cold storage?
Well, the book really gets into how time travel affects Rafe, like mentally and physically. Remember, he's not just waking up in a weird new world. His body is actually trying to go back to being frozen.
That's messed up. Like his own body's turning against him. The past is literally catching up to him.
Exactly. And those visions he keeps having, they're not just flashbacks.
Right.
They're like clues to a past life, to things that happened before he was frozen. Like his mind's trying to remember something it forgot.
Whoa. And then there's Thomas Murray, the astronaut.
Yeah, from even further in the future.
He's got this secret in his DNA, and it might be the only way to save Rafe.
This is where the science fiction stuff is just awesome. It's genetic manipulation, but on this like crazy level. The author makes it sound real, but it's still mind-blowing.
I know. And Rachel, she actually uses Murray's DNA to come up with a cure for Rafe, even with hardly any resources. She's so smart. But it makes you wonder, is it okay to mess with the basics of life like that?
Right. It could be a miracle cure, but what if it gets into the wrong hands? It could be a really dangerous weapon.
And Kincaid, don't forget about him. He's obsessed with this spacecraft, wants to live forever. He'll risk anything, even starting a war, just to get what he wants.
Yeah, he's like the dark side of ambition, you know. What happens when you want power too much?
And now the Chinese military is involved. Everyone wants this tech, and it's going to blow up in everyone's faces.
The climax of the book is so good. It's like Rafe and Rachel are fighting to survive. The Chinese are closing in. Kincaid's making his last stand.
Yeah.
You can't stop reading.
Oh, I know. It's like, who's going to make it out of this? So what about the ending?
Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but it wraps things up, but you still feel kind of uneasy, like a reminder that this kind of power, this tech, it always comes with a price.
Yeah. It really makes you think.
It does. Cold storage isn't just exciting. It makes you think about the choices we make and how they can affect the whole world.
We've covered a lot, but there's so much more to this book. You really have to read it yourself to get the full impact.
Exactly. It's one of those stories that sticks with you, you know? It makes you realize that the future isn't set in stone and what we do today matters.
If you're looking for a thriller that's more than just action, a book that makes you think and feel, then Cold Storage is the one.
Yeah, totally agree. So that wraps up our deep dive into cold storage. We had a blast talking about it, and we hope you go check it out for yourselves.
Thanks for joining us. And until next time, keep those pages turning. And remember, the best stories are the ones that make us question everything.